now trying to figure out, well, what more can we do? 5 seconds then remains on the clock, and now the 2-minute gridding procedure hits. Lights on here at Okayama. Race 3 of your season here, of your Summer Cup, starts right now, and it's a good start then off of the line. That was definitely needed off of the get-go by Chris Vrajilov. It'll be pressure up for Prieto as Viktor Varbanov tries to go through around the outside. He's starting to run out of room a little bit on the outside and gets forced out. Zaltavella's going to try and go the long way around here, going through turn number 2 at Williams, through the Sterling Moss S. They will then soon follow as everybody has pretty much got through the opening stages, through the grass we search as we head into the outward curve, and Varbanov trying to go around the outside. Lots of 2 wide in the middle of the field, trying to avoid any dramas as they go through. The likes of Teddy Ivanov in the middle, Maxim Dimitrov and Murtol Shaheen side by side as they now take the run a little bit further back down it as we head to Redmond Corner. This is a lovely little group that's starting to form here as we focus with Alberto Campos, who has dropped the time. Oh, big lunge down the inside. Vladimir Mavrodiev forced the stage here of race number 1 of 2, and Aleix Casanova trying to go around the outside of Ivaylo Dimitrov and managing it on the AM category championship leader. Well played, Mr. Aleix there, getting that done, but there's not going to be give up because the door was left open. Ivaylo's got the inside and takes a very aggressive line in, but it's too aggressive. Aleix Casanova pretty much picks his pocket off the exit and says, no, sunshine, that is my space, and you will not find your way through. You got Joris Ohms really fighting Teodor Ivanov right now as the 9th and 10th place battle continues on, but for the moment it is still stay as you are, as you were for Casanova and Dimitrov there together, the 4th of the Lemon squad. So Stamenkov, who was AM category leader, has buried the car in the tyres as now Yankov has to defend from Gabriel Ivanov, and looks like it's successful, but there's the throw down the inside at the Revolver, and they'll fight again, 2 corners side by side now, and make it a third as they go through Piper's corner, and Yankov loses out now, trying to go to the inside, can't go there, has to move and feign, back to the outside, covered off by Gabriel Ivanov. Move made, well done, great little bit of work, but the critical thing is that your AM category leader's changed. It now will give Joris Ohms the space he wants. Gabriel hairpin. Zaltavella thinks about the switchback. Not going to get there. Is going to just take the natural outside line. Pinched off again beautifully. Lock up of both fronts there, and almost a pinch back then from Christian Novev, trying to stick his nose in where it doesn't belong, and again he's aggressive, throwing the car into the corner. Zaltavella is trying to be outside of the box and finding every angle he's got. He's got to be careful about doing that, otherwise he's going to open himself up here to the likes of Christian Novev, who will look at every opportunity to make that move. Now they start wondering that with just a lap and a bit to go, Gonzalo Prieto is defending and looks maybe a bit vulnerable, so you just got to find the right place to make that move. He's not going to move from the inside line. You've just got to be aggressive next to him and force him and pinch him. And now is where you start thinking, do you have enough slipstream to make it happen? Because they're all going to go all the way to the inside. Novev's going to try and find a move. Zaltavella just about can jam on the brakes, but it's well covered at the best place on the circuit to make a moment happen there, because that was key in terms of things for Gonzalo Prieto, who now runs out of the Piper corner, runs a little bit wide, and that might open up the door here. Defensive lines having to be taken by Zaltavella to hold second. Christian Novev trying every which way, but for the moment it looks like Prieto's just got a gap. Teddy Ivanov's had a moment out there, and suddenly Chris Vrajilov's had a moment out there. Joris Ohms is up to 8th, Shaheen's up to 7th, but at the front, Gonzalo Prieto will round the final corner, a great staved off defence to come to the line and take race 3 of the season. Zaltavella second, third for Christian Novev, and dramas befalling on the final lap for a number of drivers. Then the likes of Chris Vrajilov dropping back down to 9th position, and a great side-by-side with Casanova, who will have to go around the outside of the final corner, and the reason why it all came to blows was Teddy Ivanov having dramas there off the road, a contact at the final section. Aleix Casanova will take advantage and do just about enough, and the key to that incident there was a case of who was going to yield through the final corner, and it was a very out of line from Ivaylo Dimitrov, who had to make Aleix Casanova wait for the corner. But the lights are about to go on here at Okayama for this fourth race of the season. They know how critical this juncture is, and the lights are out, and that's a lightning start by the likes of Chris Vrajilov. He races by Teddy Ivanov then to get this start sorted into the opening corner. That they go, everybody tiptoeing their way by. Oh, there's contact. Zaltavella, championship leader. It's turned around in the opening corner by Gonzalo Prieto. He's going to have to try and recover back through. He's in play with Novev too as they go round through into Piper's corner, and now on the exit. Oh, Yankov takes contact, somehow avoiding it, somehow stays going. How is that for a save? Woo! Woo! Hold on, whoa, Nelly. That was a big one for Martin Yankov, and somehow keeps the car ahead of the likes of Nikolai Mikov. Oh, Cordy now looking to get off of the exit, trying to get by the Mark speed car of Joris Ooms for position, and Ooms is doing just about enough to hold that position steady, and there as Tom Cordy now will hold the outside. It'll be Martin Yankov thinking about fanning it 3 wide, goes only for 2. Cordy on the outside, loses out. Martin Yankov, easy comfy pass then, side by side at Mike Knight, gets it done on Joris Ooms, and Ooms now vulnerable at the final corner. Clever pass by Tom Cordy, who goes around and collects Joris Ooms in the process. So Tom Cordy with the spin, Joris Ooms back up to speed, but when I say back up to speed, it's back up to speed with a damaged front wing. Cordy aggressive into the corner, and you can't really do too much about that as the rear wing goes flying off the back of his car. Offs that there have been, but for the moment it is not full clearance at the front of the field for the likes of Chris Vrajilov, Teddy Ivanov, Murtol Shaheen in third, Novev fourth, as it's side by side. Ivaylo Dimitrov again seemingly cannot stay out of the battles right now, with Mavrodiev there behind, back to back on those podiums if this pass can be found. Eyeing it up and not going to be there. Teddy goes around and will take Murtol Shaheen and Christian Novev with, and they'll both have to try and rejoin the track safely. They manage that, and they'll fall behind the likes of Alberto Campos and Aleix Casanova for position. So another change on the offing. Here comes Murtol Shaheen, who looks for the top 5 once again on Nikolai Mikov, and does so at the 9-minute mark, getting the move done on the inside, and the Bitcoin car, which is a little bit scrappy and damaged, not much more than that. There is Casanova on the back of Mavrodiev, on the back of Ivaylo Dimitrov, who's already gone up to 8th, but Ivaylo Dimitrov runs deep through the hairpin, will try and throw it back at the revolver. Door is left incredibly wide open, and that's the difference between AMs and Pro-Ams battling out there, that they do leave opportunities available to take the place, and they are tripping each other up here. Ivaylo Dimitrov down on that inside line, trying to work Redmond, but it's going to be on the wrong side of the road here for Hobbs, and just about given enough room. Mavrodiev's got most of the clearance, but not enough of it here. Should have this one secured. 5 to keep an eye out on, and we always love some wonderful racing action that comes into play with a fantastic grid's worth of racing. And in 7 days they will take the drafting track of Monza. You can get by Alex Plamenov for it, but look at how hefty the defence has to be from Radlen out there, from Ivaylo out there. Ivaylo Dimitrov does just enough to hold that station, and Vladimir Mavrodiev watches with Aleix Casanova, Boyko Nikolov, but they're bringing Maxim Dimitrov and Valentin Stamenkov onto the group, and that was a big wiggle through the corner for Ivaylo Dimitrov. That came out of relative nowhere. The back just snapped, and he had to avoid running into the barriers. Just about managed it, but will drop him right to the back of the group. There's a bit of contact as he goes by through with Valentin Stamenkov, but Stamenkov will now hold his place at turn 2. That will also be not quite there, but through the Moss curve there could be chances to find passes. There could be places where you can gain it. it? And the answer to that is yes. Outward curves there! Boyko off the road with him. Maxim Dimitrov overcooked it, and Boyko had nowhere to go. And as such, places are to be lost through. And Mikov then dropping a couple more points then, but will still be well in control of category, as here comes Viktor Varbanov looking to get back to 11th position with this look down the inside. Easy pickings. But here comes Prieto straight down the inside. It's going to be hard fought for on the exit. The revolver favours Gabriel Ivanov on the inside and will hold the defence. So that's going to be a case of nice try from Gonzalo, but nice tries mean you don't finish second. Then as those drivers behind trying to search. Oh, and there Gonzalo Prieto takes a tap. Tyre to tyre through the opening corner. He went all the way to the pit wall trying to make that move. Went around the outside, got a tap off of Gabriel Ivanov, and say goodbye to the race win, because Chris Radulov is gone. Absolutely G-O-N-E gone. Will get a good drive off the exit, stuck on the outside line, but Varbanov's going to try and sneak away through. Contact onto the side, just about avoids there, tagging the tyre, which would have sent them both around. But Stamenkov still looking at being aggressive here, hoping that there's a line on Casanova to go and get this move. They're side by side for second, and they're making contact for second. Oh my goodness me, they're almost driving into each other as they try and figure it out. And off then, and Gabriel Ivanov, I think, just got very, very mad and decided he was going to just try and straight line the corner, see if he can get any contact off of it and see if he can make any damage. So Gonzalo Prieto into fourth, Campos to fifth, Nikolai Mikov back up into sixth position and hoping for a top five. Mavrodiev, Casanova and Viktor Varbanov we're on board with right now, looking for a way to P8 round the outside of Casanova. And can he find a way? You bet he can. Inside of turn two, normally he puts the end to that and does so this time. It's Chris Radulov who will come and take race number 4 and do so with a dominant display of driving. Gonzalo Prieto will take second with a 1 and a 2 today, almost picking up maximum points. And Martin Yankov, the last car on the podium, then as they go, it will be Campos beating out Nikolai Mikov for position as the last cars then of the top 10 start to make their way through. Casanova will lose out then, by the looks of things, to Varbanov over the line on what was a very, very close run to it, and it looks like Alex Plamanov will beat out Boyko Nikolov then for position. So managing that, Stoyanov and Velkov then are going to be as they are, and it's a bit gappy over towards the end. The closest battle is Kenny Campos versus Tim Bates, as the mock-up Ferrari looks to try and find a way past Kenny Campos at the moment, and Campos struggling a little bit for power going up through the gears there. Now brings himself through Redmond Corner, looking to try and get the drive out of the penultimate here, taking a very shallow line in. Bates looking for confidence on the power and having a little bit of a wheel slip there going off the exit of Hobbs Corner. That will put the end to that. So Kenny Campos, barring a mistake at the final corner, should hold on to that 19th position and pick up points, a gain of 5.